Hi there, I'm Virginia Lindsay of Ginger Cake Patterns and Design, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute beach bag. It is, or pool bag, whatever. It is really lightweight. I use this cool vintage fabric, and you got this really bohemian look. It is so easy though, and I think you're really going to love it for your summer excursions. So follow along and I'll show you how to make it. The first thing we're going to do is get our fabric all prepared. This is a full yard of fabric folded in half, so that right now it equals 36 inches long, and this is the width of the fabric. This is about 42 inches wide. So I have it folded in half, and I'm just going to fold it again so it's in quarters right now. This would technically be like a fat quarter. And I'm going to cut off these ends here to make my bag only about 30 inches wide. So this says 15 right here. So I'm taking off about 6-7 inches on either end. You don't have to be super precise on this, but you do need to have at least 6 inches off on the ends. Those are going to be the handles, okay? So you just set those aside for a few minutes, and we work on the body of the bag. So the next thing you have to do is now cut a piece of lining fabric that is the same size as this. And I'm going to use this denim chambray. Okay, so I cut that chambray blue lining to be the exact same size as my exterior piece, which is 36 by about 30. And now I'm going to fold them in half. So this folded piece is 18 high by 30 across, okay? Folded. And then I'm going to fold it again like this. Okay, so we have this nicely folded up piece. And the reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to make some darts down here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to measure in 4 inches to here, and then I want to go up 8 inches. So a 4 by 8 dart, just like this. So by doing this way, I'm cutting all the darts at the same time. Can you see that? So I have this side of the lining, or this side and this side. So this is what our piece looks like when you open it up. Okay, so to sew up the dart, this is the lining piece. And what you're going to do is you're going to put pins in starting at the top corner to secure that. So then everything kind of falls into place. You can kind of smooth it out, and then put a pin here and a pin down here. And on all my other 3 edges, the 2 from the lining, I sewed up and here, okay? See it right there? I sewed up and up there. That one folded over a little. And then also on this edge of the lining. But on this edge, the last edge, the 4th edge, I'm going to sew up, and then I'm going to leave a space of about 5 inches. Yeah, about 5 inches, and that's for turning the bag inside out. I'm using a walking foot, and that does hold things together a little bit better. You don't need a walking foot, but if you have one, they are really nice for sewing bags and most things together. Okay, here are the 2 pieces. This one edge has the opening and the other are all sewn. And we're just going to take this, turn it inside out, and just insert this exterior piece inside the interior piece, or the lining, and find the side seams and use your fingers to hold the seams out like this. See? That's open, this is open. And pin. So you always want to first do the side seams. And then just go ahead and pin, put a few more pins in around this to create the top of the bag. and then we're going to sew it all around. So now I'm just going to sew all the way around the top of the bag. Okay, the top of the bag is all sewn together. I'm just going to reach into that opening that we created on the side, turn the whole thing inside out. The first thing I'm going to do is at the sewing machine, I'm going to close this opening just by top stitching. I can press it and top stitch or just kind of put a couple pins in there and close that opening. And then at my ironing board, I'm going to push the whole bag. I'm going to push that lining in and then press it really well so that the two sides, the top edge, is nice and flat. Okay, now your bag should look like this, all neatly pressed. And what we're going to do is soften up these corners at the base here to give your bag a little bit more width on the bottom, and so you don't have these pokey corners coming out. And the way you're going to do that is just take your finger and put it right here in this corner and poke it through like this, so you get this triangle on the inside, okay? And then kind of lay it flat. You can feel the exterior underneath there. And just take a straight edge and go down about 2 inches down, okay? And then with a piece of chalk, just go right across like that. You see that line? Stick a couple pins in there. And sew right across there. And you're going to do it on the other corner too. Okay, I sewed both those corners down, and the next step is just to we're gonna tack them down with needle and thread. Now you can skip this if you don't mind it kind of floating around in there, but here's the top of my bag, and then you kind of spread these out so you can see this is the base of your bag on the inside, and these kind of lay nice and flat right there. And I put a piece of thread and a needle, a hand sewing needle, and I'm just going to come up from under so we hide that knot and go down. This is just tacking it down, and then I usually like to kind of hide my threads. There, so that's nice and secure. I'm going to do it on the other one too. Okay, now your bag should look like this. See this nice base and the curved corners? You're going to be able to fit lots of stuff in there. And now we're going to make the handles. So you're going to take this 6-inch piece, fold it right sides together, and you're going to sew up the corner down about 3 inches. Was that 3 inches? About 3 inches. And then leave an opening about that big, about a 2 inches, or 1.5 inches. So down the middle, back here, leave about a 1.5 inch opening, sew down the corner again. Okay, so I sewed both of my handles, and I remember I sewed up this side and then down about a few inches and left an opening right here, all the way down the center, left an opening right here, and then to the end. And that is so that I have these nice finished ends. And now I'm going to just turn it inside out. Actually, let's be a good sport and show how some of our the viewers suggested I do tube turning. Remember that video I just did on the tips and tricks? Well, they said to use like a dowel rod or something, and I just found this PVC pipe, and I'm going to try to tube turn this way. So you just kind of come to the bottom edge here and stick the, oh, that does work nice. Okay, that's very quick. And then just take the dowel rod out and we have it turned out. So that's a great way to do that. Okay, so after I turned those handles out, I pressed them nice and flat, and then I top stitched over all 4 edges. So we're going to attach the handles and sew a square like this. And there's a couple ways to do this. You can use pins and pin it in all the corners. A great way to use it is to do seam a seam light. And you can like put a strip here and a strip here and a strip here, like make a box, and then fuse it on, and that'll hold it together before you do your stitching. And then, like I did in my last video of the tote bag, I will just like use my little dollar store glue stick and glue it right on. All you have to do is put a few strokes of glue on there. And we're going to put it in 7 inches from the side seam and 5 inches down from the top. Okay? So just like this right there. Kind of press that in. And that'll hold nicely so you don't have to have pins when you're sewing those boxes. I don't really like pins. Those boxes, I don't like to have pins in there. I feel like it makes me mess up and doesn't look as good. So over here, I'm going to do the same. 7 inches from the side seam and 5 inches down. Right there. Okay? Then I'm just going to sew a box like this. And that box is going to be about, if you want to mark a pin to show yourself 2.5 inches high right here, that's fine. Or just kind of wing it, which is probably what I'm going to do. And then do the same for the other side with the other handle. Okay, here I have all four corners of the 2 handles sewn on, and you can see the bag is shaping up nicely. And the next thing we need to do is create the casing that's going to make a space for the drawstring. So what I need to do is get my seam ripper and measure down about 1/2 inch or less, about 1/2 inch right here. And then create an opening in my seam. So I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do that with my seam ripper. I'm just going to get in here with my seam ripper and open up about a 1 inch opening. Now, this could have been done earlier on when I was creating the exterior, which is another good way. But I kind of like doing it this way. You kind of have a little bit more control. Either way is fine. So I opened up with my seam ripper just around there, and then I'm going to take my sewing machine and just do a little stitch here and a little back stitch there. So the opening's about that big. I'm going to back stitch there and back stitch there and do the same on this other seam right here. Open it and then back stitch there, back stitch there. And then I'm going to create my casing. Okay, there are the little openings I created, and I back stitched to seal them. And now I'm just going to use that as my guide to sew all the way around the top edge. And then on the other one, that one right there, I'm going to sew again. And that's going to create a casing to do those drawstrings. Here I'm just creating my tube, my drawstring out of a tube that's 2 inches by about width of fabric 42 inches. So you just fold them right sides together, sew all the way down, and then use your tube turner to turn it inside out and press. And that's how you make a drawstring from fabric. Here are the drawstrings I made, and I just turned them inside out with my tube turner. And now I'm going to treat the end, and then I press them, and I'm going to treat the ends with fray check. Just go over them a little bit on each end, and then I'm going to take a safety pin I'm going to put this nice sturdy big safety pin in one end. Okay. Of one of the drawstrings. Let's get that through. And what you're going to do is just start at one of the side openings and head all the way through this one side of the bag. So this one drawstring goes through one side of the bag all the way to this end, to this one opening, and then you flip it over and you insert the other drawstring all through the other side of the bag. And I'll be right back. Okay, those are both through, and then I finished the ends off, remember, with the fray check, so that it won't fray, and then I just tied knots on all 4 ends of the strings, and then all you do is just pull it together, and your bag is done. Okay, so when it's full, you can really see what a great shape the bag is. And I just have it full of, there's 5 towels in here. So now we're just gonna pull it in a little, and then the handles. See, isn't it cool? I'm really excited about taking it with me on a picnic or to the pool or the beach or, you know, wherever. So maybe I won't mind lugging everybody's stuff this summer after all. I hope you get to make one and enjoy your time spent sewing, and subscribe to my channel so that you can see more fun projects that are coming up. Thanks a lot, and see you next time.